On December 23rd. We'll begin our meeting this evening with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, our meeting this evening is governed by the Nebraska Open Meetings Act, a copy of which is located on the south wall and posted in our boardroom here. Jody, you verified publication and notification of our meeting this evening, so thank you for that. And we will move directly into our new business for this evening, which is to discuss, consider, and take action related to the adoption of the 24-25 school year budget. I know we've had multiple hearings on this, but Dr. Buzz, do you want to give any sort of final remarks before we have a vote?
Yeah, just a couple quick little highlights of it. This is the same proposed budget that was presented to you on September 9th during the budget hearing, and then again during the joint public hearing on September 18th. This is the actual NDE budget that is being considered for your approval, which would be our maximum expenditure within each category. We don't intend to actually spend up to those amounts. Those are maximums in there. This total budget, when we look at all of our taxing accounts, is a 2.19% decrease compared to the previous year. The general fund is up 4%. The bond fund is up 6%. There's a decrease of 10% in the special building fund and a decrease of a significant decrease of over 60% within the QC Puff fund. So all in, as far as all taxing funds are concerned, is a 2.19% decrease year over year.
So do you have any questions, Dr. Buzz?
I do actually. So we've had some questions about how the budget works and bonds and things of that nature. So as our state aid goes down, the more money we grow in our revenue, right? The state aid goes down. So what's the minimum cap our levy needs to be at for the state aid to still kick in?
I think they got rid of a cap. There used to be, if you taxed less than 95 cents in your general fund, you weren't eligible for state aid. Then they got rid of that because schools were getting put in this spot where they could have went to 94 or 93 or 92. They couldn't do it because they were going to lose state aid. At this point, there's no cap. What it does is it assumes that you will tax at $1 in your general fund. And so the portion, if you remember the cups where we had the property tax as a local effort, which was blue in the middle, right, that is all under the assumption that you would tax at $1 within the general fund, which is exactly what we're taxing at this point.
Okay. So we're at what effectively would be our minimum
Yep.
tax.
Yeah, so if we reduce our levy 5 cents, that would be about $1.2 million decrease for us. The state wouldn't give us any additional funds. We would just have a deficit of 1.2 million.
Okay,
Perfect. Good question.
Any other questions? All right, I believe there is a motion proposed.
I move to approve the 24-25 ND budget as presented.
Thank you, Steve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Kara. Any further discussion? All right, Jody, call the roll.
Allison?
Yes.
Jeremy?
Yes.
Kara?
Yes.
Steve?
Yes.
Motion passes. The next item of new business this evening is for us to discuss, consider, and take action to approve the property tax request resolution and set the school system's final property tax request for this 24-25 school year.
So the proposed property tax request and levy for this year, again, is the same as it was presented on September 9th at the budget hearing, and then again at the joint public hearing on September 18th. The total levy for the school year would remain at $1.35.8. The general fund would be increasing by 3 cents, while the special building fund would be decreasing by 3 cents. The bond fund would be going up 1.8 cents, while the QC Puff fund would be going down 1.8 cents. Those both held our bonds where we paid out the QC Puff bonds early last year, allowing that to take place. I'll be honest, this budget wasn't put together in a normal or traditional budgeting environment. When I say that, I mean, typically you would underestimate your revenues, you'd overestimate your expenses, ensuring that we don't have a deficit at the end of the year. It wasn't done that way. We are pretty tight on funds this year, and so We tried to be as accurate as we possibly can, and it has razor thin margins, if any margins at all. And so at the end of this year, if we have any surplus at all, it's going to be almost nothing. As of today, the way it is on paper, we're showing a $10,366 surplus, which is 0.01% of our total budget. And so that's the situation. We've been talking about it, for 12 months now, knowing that this was upcoming. And, next year we're going to be talking about it again because we kind of know we're in a 2-year period here. Most of this comes from what Steve just asked about. We lost $5.4 million in state aid this year. Our property tax request is going at $3.5 million, which is the 10.02%, the exact percentage that our valuation increased this year. So you can see down 5.4, up 3.5, we still have a budget gap there that we're not able to make up with our other revenues that we're getting from anybody. And so that's what's caused most of our issues here. To prepare for that, we understand that we're going to utilize some of our reserves this year. We know that we did some advanced purchasing this year to try to alleviate some of our budget for next year. But all in, we're anticipating real expenditures year over year to go up about 2.26%. And so that 2.25% would be the lowest expense increase that we've had in over a decade in our fast growing district. And so we are to expect those things throughout the year. All in, though, the property tax request would be going up the same as our valuation, but our levy will stay at $1.35.8. We made a commitment to our patrons last year that we would do that, and we're trying to honor that commitment this year.
Thank you. Are there any questions, Mr. Superintendent? All right, I move to adopt the property tax request resolution for Bennington Public Schools for the 24-25 school year and set the 24-25 property tax requests as follows. $27,817,927 for the general fund, $509,901 for the special building fund, $10,141,363 for the bond fund, and $0 for the qualified capital purchase undertaking fund.
Second.
I took the heavy one.
I was going to say right after that.
I do, yes. Any other questions? All right, Jody, call the roll.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Kara,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes,
Allison,
Yes. Motion passes. I believe that concludes our action items for this evening, a record short meeting. I'm going to adjourn the meeting. Jody, you want to call the roll?
Jeremy,
Yes.
Kara,
Yes.
Steve,
yes.
Allison,
Yes. Meeting adjourned. And we did not do a public forum this evening. Do you want me to go back? I didn't. see
We
anybody-
should, yeah.
I didn't see anybody here that asked for it,
Yeah,
but I
we should.
specifically mentioned that, so
We
I
should.
think I'll reopen the meeting if that's okay and just verify for the minutes that we did ask and
Yes.
every year, so.
Yep.
Thank you for doing that, Steve.
Yeah, great call, Steve.
I move to open the meeting of the Bennington Public Schools Board of Education on September 23rd for the purpose of just seeking any other public forum. I didn't see anybody who filled out the orange sheets, but certainly if anybody would like to comment, we've had multiple occasions to comment on this topic, so. Anybody? All right.
No extra credit if they talk it.
That's true. No extra credit for our students. All right. All right, I move to adjourn the meeting. Jody, you want to call the roll in?
Allison,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Kara,
Yes.
Steve,
Yes.
Motion passes and meeting is adjourned. Oh, that's okay.